Hi, I'm Chris Allen, Stormbreakers class of 2023. I got into comics through my mom, who was in college at the time, and she was taking some medical courses. She would buy issues of Spider-Man for us so that when she was at the lab doing experiments on fruit flies, we would be in the lab with her, and we would have like all these Spider-Man comic books to read. There's one comic that I remember in specific, because I'm pretty sure that was the first comic that I traced. It had Spider-Man. He's crawling up the wall away from the police, and the police are just pointing at him going, "That's the guy, get him." It was the first time that I realized, even as a child, just how beautiful these things were. I started drawing with my brother. We lived in a little house in a town right outside of Orlando called Winter Park. We grew up in a house that was like 100 years old, and it had these old screens on there. If you got there when the light was just right, you could hold the comic book up to these screens and put a piece of blank paper on top of that comic book. You could make out the shapes and trace them. We spent a summer just drawing. I did a comic strip. There was a guy and his best friend was a chimpanzee. I was in my 40s. I worked and hung out with a small press publisher here in San Antonio, Texas. We'd go to shows, and one of the big shows we'd go to was the San Diego Comic-Con. One of the people who was at the small press booth with me nudged me and said, "That is the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. And I'm not saying what you should do, but maybe you should say hello." There was just something about that moment that was like, you waited your whole life for this. Get your comic and go introduce yourself. It was a story that starred Spider-Man and the Lizard, and I absolutely adore that story because it has one of my favorite panels that I've ever drawn on it. And it's just this simple panel where Spider-Man puts his hand on Doc Connor's shoulder. After everything this guy has done, that this character shows just simple compassion. It just very much encapsulates my life with these characters and how they've shaped me as a person. My time at Marvel has been a real learning experience. There's a huge learning curve. The editorial staff here is so wonderful and is so nurturing and encouraging. It is amazing how those people just reach out and just like, you got this. You are here for a reason, and it's the reason that you know that you're here. Let's talk about the Stormbreakers. Have you seen those guys? They're like really good. And I'm in there. That has been an incredible experience. Sometimes it seems a little difficult to believe, but if there's ever an incentive to step up your game, all you have to do is look at your peer group. This is the cream of the Marvel crop. Marvel Comics, the same Marvel Comics that when I was 7 or 8 years old, I was like, this is what I want to do. Here, in this moment, in my 50s, I made it.